Police in Ohio tase a 9-year-old boy twice. Cops in Chicago issued parking tickets during a funeral procession for a dead Marine. Our Department of Justice wants the courts to keep the Google-NSA partnership secret. A former CIA agent claims the U.S. did not kill Osama bin Laden. A doctor says feeding babies raw milk is child endangerment. Raquel Welch says she thinks Americans are all sex addicts. We'll be hearing from both Wild Bill for America and Andrew Klavan on the culture. And today's lead story, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is on his knees once again. My name's Howard Riell, and this is Real Truth. You're listening to the American Freedom Network, streaming live around the world with AmericanNewsNet.com, and on Facebook and on YouTube, and in the book Real Truth, Stay Angry. And of course, as always, broadcasting out across the Colorado Front Range on KHNC, Johnstown, Colorado, 1360 AM The Lion. Our call-in number, 877-254-7524. Item from the Jerusalem Post. Israel and Gaza have agreed to an Egyptian-brokered ceasefire in which the IDF agreed to halt operations in the Gaza Strip if Palestinians in the coastal territory stop firing rockets at Israel. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu cautioned on Tuesday Israel would respond to any attempts to violate an Egyptian-brokered truce that went into effect earlier in the day, ending 4 days of cross-border violence with Palestinians in Gaza. Quote, "Our message is that quiet will bring quiet. Anyone who violates it or even tries to violate it, our guns will find him," Netanyahu said in a speech in Jerusalem, echoing a previous statement by IDF Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Benny Gantz. Unquote. Let me give you that quote once again, my friends. Our message is that quiet will bring quiet. Shh. Quiet. Quiet. Don't make a lot of noise. You don't want to get them angry. You know, there's an old joke, and if you travel in Jewish circles, you've heard of it. A couple of Jews are found guilty and they're put in front of a firing squad. And they're standing there and the commanding officer says, "Ready, aim," and one of the Jews says, wait a minute, don't we get blindfolds?" And the other Jew says, "Be quiet, you're going to make them angry." I am torn apart to see Benjamin Netanyahu's pathetic response to attempted mass murder, to an act of war. Have the so-called Palestinians shown any slightest interest in sitting quietly for the past 63 years? The past 90 years? The last 1,400 years? You know, I meet Israelis all the time, and I ask them what they think of the situation in Israel, and whether or not they think the Palestinians should leave, which of course they should. And too many Israelis say to me, "Shh, they don't have to leave. If they'll sit and be quiet, they can stay." And I'll say, "Have they shown any indication that they're willing to sit and be quiet?" And they'll say, "Well, no." And I'll say, "So what the hell are you talking about?" And at that point, they generally leave. I wonder what planet they're living on. Anyway, listen to me. They attack. Benjamin Netanyahu says, "Okay, we'll have peace." Anything wrong there? Anybody detected a slight disconnect there? Then we wonder why there's no peace in Israel. Listen to me. If you give the schoolyard bully your lunch money every day, why would he stop coming to you for lunch money every day? If you bloody his nose, he'll find someone else to pick on. He won't keep picking on you. Doesn't that make sense? When you deal with the Muslim world, you must deal from a position of strength. If you're strong, you're respected. If you're nice, well, you're not nice, you're weak. And if you're weak, you're dead. The Palestinian Nazis have worn out their welcome 1,000 times over. They need to go, and as I've said many times, I really am not interested whether they go in buses or boxes. The Prime Minister's weak-kneed reaction and pathetic posturing is guaranteed to bring more rockets raining down on the men, women, and children of Israel and to embolden the forces of violent jihad worldwide. Mr. Netanyahu, if you're unwilling or unable to muster up the faith or the testosterone to deal with Israel's murderous sworn enemies, then simply resign as Prime Minister and let someone take over who will bring peace and sanity to the state of Israel. You'll let me know where and to whom I can submit my resume. Item from David Horowitz at frontpagemag.com. The first and last thing anyone needs to understand about Barack Obama is that he is a Machiavellian con man whose loose way with the truth makes Bill Clinton look like a Boy Scout. This is a born and bred Marxist radical who charmed the pants off Wall Street and seduced its kingpins into giving him $100 million for his first presidential run. This is a man who will say and do anything to get power, and in an election year, power is at the ballot box. Hence his pledge to the Jews this AIPAC season that, quote, he has Israel's back. In his astute piece in the Wall Street Journal, Bret Stephens shows Obama has been schooled in his antagonism to Israel not only by such Palestinian Israel haters as Rashid Khalidi and Edward Said, but by Jewish leftists as well. Obama is a smooth enough article to fool most of the people most of the time. Hopefully come November he won't have fooled most of them all of the time. Item from Reuters, Dateline, Denver, Colorado. The Colorado Supreme Court ruled on Monday that students and employees with concealed weapon permits can carry handguns on University of Colorado campuses, overturning a ban by the school's regents. Gun rights advocates had challenged the university policy that was adopted in 1994, arguing that the university's governing board had superseded state gun laws. The justices agreed, noting that the state's concealed carry law passed by the state legislature trumped the university's policy. The court said state lawmakers had passed the concealed weapons law to provide a uniform statewide law because of widespread inconsistencies among jurisdictions about how to enforce gun laws. Unquote. My friends, listen. The way you deal with bullies, the way you deal with criminals, the way you deal with murderers is to wrap them on the snout, draw some blood, and let them learn a lesson. If they don't learn a lesson, you dispense with them. The way to deal with all these different factions that are arrayed against this is not to talk peace, not to hope for peace, not to feel their pain, not to sit quietly and sing Kumbaya, because this is a Darwinian world in which God has placed us. And we have to survive. And we have to do what's right and what's just and what's moral. Being moral is not doing nothing to prevent bombs from raining down on the population of a country. What's moral is prevent those who want to commit acts of terror from doing so. That's moral, that's compassionate, and that's what we're not seeing out of the government of Israel, or for that matter, the government of the United States. This is Real Truth. We're going to be right back. Go nowhere.
Shiny steel makes any pickup truck look good.